Box-style televisions. Remember when televisions were giant, boxy pieces of furniture that took up half the living room? Those old-school TVs were a whole different world compared to what we have now. Back before cable and streaming took over, we had to rely on rabbit ears. Those metal antennas that you'd constantly adjust to try and pull in a halfway decent signal. And if that didn't work, well, you'd probably wrap some aluminum foil on the ends or mess with a rooftop antenna, hoping for a clearer picture. It was a whole ritual. And if you ever owned a VCR, you probably remember that weird little device called an RF modulator. It was the only way to hook up your VCR to the TV, unless you had one of the newer models with RCA inputs. It was clunky, confusing, and usually buried behind the TV where you could barely reach it. Oh, and who could forget smacking the side of the TV when the screen started acting up? It sounds silly now, but for some reason, giving it a good slap actually worked most of the time. These days, we've got sleek, flat-screen smart TVs. But those old TVs? They were part of the adventure of watching television. Full-service gas stations. It might seem unbelievable today, but there was a time when pulling into a gas station didn't mean you had to pump your own gas. Back in the day, full-service stations were everywhere. You'd roll down your window, and an attendant would handle everything. Pumping your gas, washing your windshield, checking your oil, even topping off your tires. All you had to do was sit tight and maybe chat a bit. It felt more personal, like a pit stop with a touch of service. But those full-service stations have mostly faded away, replaced by self-serve pumps and pay-at-the-pump convenience. Another thing that's long gone? Leaded gasoline. For decades, leaded gas was the standard, especially for those big, powerful muscle cars. It gave engines more power, but it came at a cost to the environment and public health. By the 1980s and 90s, unleaded fuel took over, and now leaded gas is just a memory. And while we're talking about the open road, remember the nationwide 55-mile-per-hour speed limit? That was introduced in the 70s during the oil crisis to conserve fuel. But wow, did it feel slow. Getting anywhere took forever. Thankfully, that's another relic of the past most drivers were happy to leave behind. Smoking in public places. It's hard to imagine now, but there was a time when smoking wasn't just allowed, it was everywhere. Step back into the early 80s or before, and lighting up a cigarette was as common as ordering a cup of coffee. Restaurants, grocery stores, office buildings, there were no restrictions. You could smoke right there at your table, in line at the checkout, or even while talking to your boss. No one blinked an eye. One of the most shocking places where smoking was once normal? Airplanes. Yes, people lit cigarettes mid-flight, right in their seats. The armrests even had built-in ashtrays. Some folks might still remember the smoke-filled cabins and that distinct smell that never quite left the upholstery. And believe it or not, even the pilots, yes, the ones flying the plane, could light up in the cockpit. It was all about keeping them calm and focused. No one wanted the captain getting jittery 30,000 feet in the air because he couldn't have a smoke. Today, the idea seems outrageous. Now we have designated smoking areas tucked away outside buildings. But back then, cigarettes were just a part of daily life. It was normal.